I know.
The folder is with the attorney right now.
I saw it, yeah.
There is the resolution there.
Okay. Okay.
So usually he'll bring it up,
Okay,
but if not, don't worry.
okay, thanks, thank you. I have my Japanese erasable pen that they gave us. They gave us this really cool pen at the Rotary that I went to. You can actually, it's a pen that you can actually erase. the pen. Pretty cool. You guys ready? Ready? All right. Good evening. I'd like to call the special meeting of the Sacramento-Yolo Port District Commission and the Board of Directors of the Sacramento-Yolo Port Financing Corporation to order. The commission met in closed session to confer with our real property negotiator. No action was taken. And we'll start this evening with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask our clerk, Teresa Wilcock, to please lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There are no requests for presentations by the public, not on the matters on the agenda, so we will move to item number 2, which is consideration of approval of our August 5th minutes. Is there a motion to approve? So moved by Commissioner Cabaldon, seconded by Commissioner Ledesma. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. We'll move on to the regular agenda, item number 3, which is consideration of Resolution P-15-2, approving a development agreement with the City of West Sacramento on the Stone Lock property in Southport. And I believe, Mr. Laurel, you'll be presenting the staff report.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair Sandine. Well, good evening, Commissioners. Be brief on this one. I don't think I need to go over the whole Stone Lock history again, but I will remind you that we saw a draft of the DA on August 5th. Since that time, there have been no changes to the draft. It has been approved by the Planning Commission of the city and had its first reading at City Council in September. It's scheduled for second reading and approval by the council on October 7th, but before it goes there, this would be the last stop at the Port Commission for final approval. The one thing I will point out is part of the recommended action is to delegate authority to the Port CEO to further define the boundary of the lock parcel. That's going to be the public use area, and that would be retained by the city for future public use. So that's the only item that requires follow-up, is to delineate that area. So with that, we'd ask for your approval of the development agreement.
Any questions? Seeing none. Is there a motion? Moved by Commissioner Ledesma, seconded by Commissioner Johannesson. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes unanimously. Moving on to item number 4, which is consideration of grant agreement with the California Natural Resources Agency and contract amendment with Global Diving and Salvage for derelict vehicle abatement in Lake Washington. Back to you, Mr. Laurel.
Thank you. So this item is consideration of a grant award. We applied in July for the second grant. We received one in 2014 from the Abandoned Watercraft and Abatement Fund, from the state. We used that funding to clean up abandoned vessels in Lake Washington, but more so we leveraged that with about $1.4 million in additional funding from different agencies to do a major cleanup project in Lake Washington. I'll remind you that in the business plan, we made it a very clear objective to increase recreational opportunities in Lake Washington, mainly by cleaning up a lot of the abandoned vessels that have been there for years. And so we wanted to bring this item for a couple reasons. One is just to relay that we received the grant and approved the grant agreement. This one is for $232,000, requires a match of 10%. We have that in the Port Operations Fund to leverage those funds. We anticipate that it'll clean up about 8 barges from the lake. We got 2 done last time along with a bunch of other vessels, so this is going to be a major improvement out on the lake. And then secondly, related to that, we have an existing contract with Global Diving and Salvage. They did the work on the original grant. We were very happy with the work they did. It's kind of a specialized job. They won it competitively. We'd like to extend their contract and increase the compensation by the amount of the grant award plus the match to allow them to jump right into this project and get the project underway quickly and with a familiar contractor who knows the lay of the land there and knows the work. So we think it's a good idea just to extend the contract to allow that. And then lastly, I just wanted to point out, Rick isn't here tonight. He's on a well-deserved vacation, but it's really first because of the direction of the commission and sort of that mandate to make part of the port's business going forward to clean up the lake. Gave us clear direction on that being a priority. Rick really took the initiative to go out and get these grants and get these relationships built with the state agency to leverage those outside funding sources, but also to get this next grant. So just want to give him some kudos as well. So with that, we'd ask for your approval of the contract extension and also the grant agreement. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Walden?
Yeah, I'm just really happy to see this. This is dealing with these abandoned vessels and with leaky, polluting vessels was one of the very first issues I brought up as a council member in the last century, and in partnership with the city of Sacramento and then ultimately the Delta Protection Commission. And in addition to their impeding recreation, they do create a public health and an environmental challenge that's pretty severe. And we've been at this through the city and now through the Port Commission over the last couple of years. It's been a lot of work, a lot of legal work, a lot of other efforts to make this happen, but it really is an important benefit both for the people who use the waterways around the port, but also the wildlife, fauna, and flora that depend on the quality of that water as well. So it's great that we won the grant. I hope you will tell Rick how appreciative we are of the work that he's done on this and so many other projects.
Thank you. I'll relay that.
I was pleased to see about the size of the grant too, because compared to the previous year, so that's powerful, and please, please do convey our appreciation.
Yeah, we weren't expecting to
That
receive
was-
this much, so we were a little aggressive this time. Unfortunately, it worked.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
All right, with that, seeking a motion. Moved by Commissioner Johannesson, seconded by Commissioner Cabaldon. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes unanimously. Move on to commission reports. Are there any reports of the commissioners? No reports. Port CEO report?
No report.
No report. Motion to adjourn? Moved by Commissioner Ledesma.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Johannesson. All those in favor? All right. Aye? Aye. Thank you.